Hello there and welcome back to my channel. And in today's video, basically I thought it might be quite a nice idea to talk about my recent experiences with Skillshare and basically my problems in trying to get one of my classes published. So I thought it might be nice to share, really, just in case it's something that you've either been through before or something that you might face in the future. And if this is the first time that you've stumbled across my channel, my name's Lizzie and I'm a polymer clay artist and illustrator, and I make things like this. So if you're interested in seeing more, by all means go and hit the subscribe button, and yeah, in the meantime let's have a chat. So basically the problem is all around these guys here. Basically I made a class for wedding cake toppers and how to make your own interpretation of one with polymer clay. So I spent the best part of 3 weeks on this particular project. So as you can imagine, I was desperate to get it published. So I just did everything as usual. I've got 6 or 7 other classes on Skillshare, so I basically followed a very similar kind of format. Classes on Skillshare are basically divided up into easily digestible segments, so you have to kind of construct them in a different way as you would to, say, a YouTube tutorial. So it's a lot more involved and you have to think about things a lot more, I'd say. So last Friday I finally hit publish on the projects, and I was super excited for students to start taking parts and to start promoting the projects, but I'm glad I didn't, because within, gosh, an hour I suddenly noticed that instead of published coming up next to the projects, there was this rather ominous closed notification which I hadn't seen before. So I just thought it was because I was kind of tinkering around in editing, so I just thought it was a lag or, you know, something like that, and it would correct itself. But then had an email from Skillshare to say that I had a content strike, and as you can imagine, it's quite alarming to receive something like that. I know on YouTube to get a community strike, it's a really big thing, and it's something that YouTube creators really try and avoid. I've not had one, thankfully, but I know that it can really affect your channel. So I just assumed a content strike was a similar thing to a community strike, and I thought, oh gosh, what on earth have I done? So I read through the email, and basically I had a violation resulting from the quality of the audio-visual elements. I just wanted to cry, basically. I just thought, you know, I've invested so much into this, I don't know what to do. So I just sat there agog at the computer for about 10 minutes. Yeah, I just kind of, you know, fretted about it a bit, as you often do, and was really contemplating different ideas for this particular class. And I was thinking about maybe YouTube memberships, you know, to keep it kind of behind a paywall, which I talked about in my last video. And also I was considering maybe offering it as a tutorial for sale on Etsy or through my website, something like that. But I kind of thought about it more over the weekends, and thankfully the email that I had from Skillshare was actually really helpful. I guess, you know, it's dependent on the type of content strike you get as to what kind of resolution you might face, really. Thankfully, because mine was basically quite a minor violation, I was able to kind of really think about, was it something that I could perhaps refilm or re-record, re-edit. And because it was the very first step in making a wedding cake topper, was the base, basically. The only segments that had an issue was how to make this round bit at the bottom of the topper. So I thought, you know what, that's really easy to remake. So I re-recorded it over the weekends and edited it and re-uploaded it, and just, you know, contacted Skillshare and hoped for the best, really. And I have to say, the lady that I was speaking with over the weekend and into the early part of this week was super helpful, which, you know, really matters when you're feeling quite upset about something, because I don't know about you, but my first reaction to all this kind of stuff usually is, you know what, I don't even want to be on here anyway. So I'm just going to go and do my own thing. So yeah, I don't know how helpful that is really, but I think we're all human, and it's just really easy to get a bit arsy about things, isn't it? So thankfully I, you know, had a level head, and my communications with Skillshare were all super polite and you know, respectful, and just wanting to resolve the issue really. So thankfully it was pretty easy for me to sort out, but I think it really depends, as I say, on the type of violation that you have. There are a few listed on Skillshare that I'll just, you know, show you here. There's a whole variety of them basically, so I would imagine if it's something that's, you know, pretty easy to resolve, it's really worthwhile trying to do that. You know, stay calm, stay polite, and if Skillshare can help you, they will. But what I have found out through my research, because as I say, I've never come across content strikes before, I think you're allowed to get 3 strikes within a 6-month period, and after that basically Skillshare will do an internal review of your accounts, and I think at that stage they decide whether they're kind of minor offences, or if it's something a little more serious, then perhaps you might face losing your account really. So it just goes to show it's really worthwhile reading up on guidelines and terms on each and every website that you're part of, and particularly those where you're sharing your own content really, because as teachers earn through Skillshare, you know, it could really affect their income if it was just suddenly taken away and they lost their account. So yeah, check those terms, folks. So as a result of all of this, it's really made me kind of think about what I want to do with my classes and tutorials on a longer term basis, because while I'm really happy to be part of Skillshare right now, I think long term what I'd like to do is to create tutorials or classes to then sort of sell via my website really. Sorry, there are quite a lot of trucks going past today, so apologies for background noise. But yeah, I think it allows a creator to really kind of own the material in a way that you know, you're almost sharing with Skillshare or other platforms that you're kind of a teacher of. So yeah, I'm really interested in doing that. It's pretty easy to do. You know, you can still make videos on YouTube, make them private, and then basically sell access points to those that want to take part in your classes. So yeah, that's something that I'm going to think about longer term. But as I say, for now I'm really happy on Skillshare and really happy on YouTube. So if you are interested, by the way, in taking part in my wedding cake topper class, I'll obviously leave the link down below for you, so you can go and check that out afterwards. So yeah, I hope you found it useful, and if you do have a content strike from Skillshare, it's not always scary. You know, I can fully appreciate that yeah, it's really hard not to be upset by something like that, but as I say, it's all about context. It might not be as scary as you think, so keep a cool head, contact Skillshare and see if there's a way forward is my advice. So hope you found that useful, and yeah, I'll be back soon in a new video, so take care, see you later.